The storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789 was a critical moment, but even as Paris and then all of France rose up, Louis XVI was mostly inactive, watching from behind Versailles' golden gates. His late and insufficient attempts to calm the situation only made things worse. The royal family's failed attempt to escape in 1791 destroyed any remaining trust. Captured and brought back to Paris, Louis XVI increasingly found himself at the revolutionaries' mercy. By 1791, he was forced to accept a new constitution that made him a constitutional monarch, but the distance between him and his people was too great.